I still think that the Chinese economy is a lot weaker than anyone really understands. And there's that lever, that economic lever that President Trump can pull to push back on their aggression. I mean, China reportedly now considering a new property stimulus package because there's concerns that the property market is weakening and it is threatening to further stabilize the economy in Beijing. China is still meddling in other countries' economies as well. Now it's banning all seafood imports from Tokyo. You mentioned the minerals. They're banning seafood as well after a clash between the countries and the new prime minister over potential military attacks in Taiwan, as you said. China imported 642 tons of seafood from Japan in 2024. That was worth $2.6 million, Gordon. Your reaction?
Yeah, well, right now, China is using every lever it possibly can, including levers that violate its trade agreements with Japan. But, you know, Prime Minister Takaichi is sterner than her predecessors. In the past, China would always do things like this, and Japanese prime ministers would cave in. She has not retracted that November 7th statement, which is what Beijing demands. And this kind of confrontation is going to last a lot longer. But she's a lot tougher. You know, people used to call her Thatcher because she was Japan's first female prime minister. Well, she's Thatcher in another way. She is tough as the Iron Lady. And that's good for us because she's an example of what a small country can do to stand up to China. We're a big country, and we need to follow Japan's example in terms of being able to say no to the Chinese. No, we're not going to be intimidated. She's great.
Yeah, and, you know, that was also President Trump's brilliance to try to ensure he's got very strong relations with the leadership in Japan, Prime Minister Takaichi, as well as throughout the Middle East, as well as throughout Asia. That was what he was doing in these last few trips, Gordon, because he's getting an allied force in the world against the CCP, or certainly to push back on their aggression.